Yeah!
Hey.
Wait, is 11 episodes of this shit? Oh, I feel sad now. Yeah, it's pretty sad. So, guys, welcome to this podcast. And in
We're
this
reviewing
special
a game we already reviewed.
No, this week we have a very special treat for you guys. Something we haven't done on this podcast before. Legend of Zelda
Something.
Oracle of
Skyward
Ages.
Sword. Skyward Sword. Yeah, it would. That'd be awesome. Actually awesome. Instead of
Yes,
this.
because we could all beat the game in one day because we're all broken.
I might be
Bro,
able to do it.
bro,
You could beat a 40-hour game in
24 hours.
Well, I
yeah.
could do it in 30. Yes.
I just noticed Matt's still in the call.
Yes,
Yeah,
he is.
Matt's also trolling me with his Skyward Sword fanboyism. About the
Play a Legend of Zelda. Guy.
you play as Link, the iconic hero of the Legend of Zelda franchise.
the game. That's it.
And as Link, what occurs is that you meet Impa. And Impa's like, hey, you, boy, I need your help. So you go like, okay, I'll go help you out because you're a stranger. And you know what? I like helping complete strangers. So what happens is you're helping around and then she tells you, hey, can you move this block for me? I can't move it. And she's acting very strange. You move the block.
Awesome.
You see Nairu, and then in the game you see a weird cutscene, very similar to those shitty Zelda games on that CDI system, where you see Nairu sitting there playing her harp, and Link, as a very strange
1
looking
second.
guy, looking at her, gawking at her breast. And what occurs is you find out that Impa has been possessed by the devil, and she possesses Nairu, and she travels through time in a Ferrari car. And yeah,
Aside from the stuff that Brooke put in, that's pretty much how it goes. Veron
Yeah.
possesses Nairu, and you have to chase her through time in order to make sure that she doesn't take over the world.
We done yet?
No.
yes, it was a good episode, guys. See you next.
I wasn't joking.
I wasn't either. Anyway, gameplay, yes. So Link has a sword. And-
Soccer.
Yes, and what you do is you mash down the B button, and he swings his sword, and shit happens. Usually people die, because Link is a homicidal motherfucker.
Sounds legit. Me and Burke are just like totally butchering this game.
Yeah. On purpose, but that's fine.
Press button to sword. Press other button to item. That's the gameplay. It really is, though. That's the gameplay. Yeah, and apparently,
Yes, the Switch-
apparently to Gerdet, that makes the game totally different and like fucking.
Well, yeah, the experience and the gameplay is rapid. The gameplay is vastly different from Link to the Past because of how the game integrates the different items that you have. Whereas in Link to the Past, you might have to use bombs to activate that switch on the far corner. Well, you have many different ways to activate said switch.
So
Gameplay differences. It makes the game totally different and not like every other 2D Zelda game before it. Just saying.
No, it's completely unique, Corbinik. You stop your trolling right now, mister.
Indeed it is.
Fuck Capcom.
Capcom.
Capcom and lol.
Remember, they taught us how to speak zombies.
Yes, they did now. Okay, so gameplay. Okay, explain this one how this is vastly different, Gerda, again.
All right.
Because I was listening first. at all.
Now, I have to start off. I have to agree that this game is very similar to Link to the Past.
What?
You just said it was. Wait.
It
Earlier
is
you told me.
different.
Wait.
Let me
No.
continue. All right.
No. Let's cover this now. You told me and Burke earlier that this game was so entirely different. Like it was like the whole new genre of Legend.
It was like Resident Evil 3. It was as massive as change as Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 4.
In your eyes, that's what it was that you're telling me and Burke.
Maybe in my tone, but not certainly in my mind.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, go on. I want to hear all these vast changes.
As with most of the rest of the series, Link needs to go into the different dungeons in order to gather random MacGuffins in order to progress through the plot. While going through these dungeons, he will require several different power-ups that he usually needs in order to finish the particular dungeon and to advance in the rest of the world. Now, these items are very, very different from what you usually get in Link and most of the other games. Whereas in Link to the Past, you got, the elemental rods, arrows, and an upgrade to your boomerang, which is still the most awesome boomerang ever. In this game, you instead have items such as the seed shooter, the switch hook, and the cane of Samaria makes a return, which is pretty cool.
So they pretty much just gave you different weapons that do the same general thing that they're supposed to do.
Except how they implement these weapons is vastly different than what they usually do in Legend of Zelda games. For example, the seed shooter is in fact a very, very viable weapon. If you can keep it fed, the seed shooter will serve you very well. And early game, it's actually much better than your sword because of its range and the fact that it has the same base power. Mind you, if you
how does that make the game vastly different?
Then the noble sword is much better.
And then how does that make the game vastly different?
Because you have different options. In Link to the Past,
What options? It's still the same game. You run around and kill things. Oh, you have an option of the way you want to kill it now. That the game is now totally different.
And it is because of these options. Because of these options, the gameplay style does not feel nearly as stale throughout most of the game. Mind you, in Link to the Past, it didn't really feel stale.
I would argue that it wasn't really stale, but like the underlying factor is that it's still the same. It's still the same game. It's still the same. You still have the same underlying mechanics going on. That hasn't changed. It's really honestly like. A lot of, especially now in this generation where we're getting so many 3s, where they build upon it and they add slightly new mechanics, or they revamp the old mechanics to make it work a little bit better, but it's still the same game.
Yep.
All right, but outside of that, dungeon design.
The dungeon design in this game, as Burke will plainly point out, is a bit gimmicky and can be very frustrating for those of us that don't know what the hell we're doing. Which is why, before we continue, I have to say, for the last half of the game, get a freaking walkthrough. The last half of the game is not really even finishable or enjoyable without one.
Yes, I actually got stuck on the second dungeon because I'm terrible. But to be in my defense, that dungeon is similar to a dungeon in a previous Zelda game. I don't remember which one, which I also got stuck in. So I just can't beat games with rails.
You just can't beat any game you play. Besides the point, I got to the Tokay part, and then I got to the dungeon, and then I got to like the boss of that dungeon, and then I put the game down, and then I fucked up, and now I'm back at the second dungeon. I'm not doing the Tokay part again. Fuck the Tokay. They can all die in a fire. They're all faggot bitches. Just saying.
Yes. Now, this game, as Matt is actually commenting in the comments, or at least in the Skype chat, this game is a lot more puzzle heavy than other LOZ games. Whereas most games, you can just go to an area, kill the bad guys, and then keep going on. In this game, there are a lot of different puzzles and side quests that have to be done in order to progress through the plot. And yes, the Tokay part is annoying, but it's not as bad as
it ruined the game
make
for
it
me.
out.
It ruined the game for me. I hate that part so fucking much.
Yeah, but you have patience issues.
That I do.
Hey, Corb is the most patient person I've ever met in my life.
As he goes to play Black Ops again.
I've not played that game in months.
Yes, but when you do play,
My
I
patience
don't always,
very
I don't
thin.
always get angry, but when I do, I'm playing Black Ops.
see?
Yeah.
But yeah, the puzzles in this game are definitely interesting, and I found them to be a lot more challenging and interesting than the ones in Link to the Past.
Like hell.
I did find that a lot of the different puzzles, especially in the latter half of the game, I can't stress enough. Get yourself a walkthrough for the last half. I can.
Oh, that's such an encouraging way to play the game. Oh, you can play this game, but you're gonna you can't play it by yourself. You gotta use a walkthrough.
Well, that's just it. Literally, the first 6 dungeons are a cakewalk compared to the last 2. Well,
Hey, that second dungeon was not a cakewalk.
Cakewalk.
My only real issue with this game when it comes to a dungeon design comes from Dungeon 7. And as everyone knows, Dungeon 7 is a copy of another
Everybody.
dungeon. Yes, everyone knows this.
I didn't know that.
Don't is because you didn't play up to that point. Bastard.
Damn.
Oh yeah, because it was just like playing any other Zelda game. I got bored quick. It's like
No,
no,
it's your save state.
and I was bored.
You don't understand is that Court's been Skyriming hard.
Oh yeah, Skyrim all day, niggas.
Mm.
But I digress.
What? Digression?
But, yeah, I do find that the gameplay is both enjoyable and very entertaining to do,
What?
as long as I get to
Press B
exclude
win
Dungeon 7.
games. Press B win games.
No, it's not just press B win games.
It is. It is press
in order
B.
to kill certain.
You
Sorry.
can
Sorry,
press
press
B
A,
when games.
press A and B. Press A and B and win games. A and B and win games.
Mm.
Of
Yeah.
course, because some puzzles make you use it.
That and a lot of the bosses have no weakness to sword.
Yeah, the bosses are really fucking gimmicky. It's kind of stupid.
Well, they're
Bosses
gimmicky,
are
but they're still
pro.
fun to play. I mean,
Yeah, tell
boss-
that one head boss thing.
Oh, that
There was
thing.
only
Oh,
one
actually,
boss that-
I have a story about that. So that head boss, Jack-o'-lantern guy.
Mhm.
No,
So-
not that guy.
Well, that guy too. I didn't even notice. I'm like, I'm hitting him. I'm like, how many hits is it gonna take to kill him? 20 minutes later, I'm like, I don't think that should be taking as long. And then I finally, I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to pick up his head and throw him. I'm like, oh, whoops.
So
And
yeah,
You guys are
And-
retards.
that shows you how great I am.
yes, it does, bro. Congratulations.
So, while we're doing this podcast, I'd like to say today we are sponsored by Febreze, and I am wasting a
Oh,
whole can of
today we
Febreze
are
on this
sponsored-
copper box.
Sponsored by. Actually, no, we're sponsored by Skyrim. Fuck you, niggas.
Skyrim knows we exist.
Yeah.
That
You
is
mean
freaking
Bethesda?
amazing work. Thank
You
you.
made it. Yeah, Skyrim. The company Skyrim.
Yes.
The company Skyrim, it has no employees and no building. It's just
Doesn't actually exist. It's just a thought. It's a thought in the mind of a small boy. You know what? I'm hijacking this podcast. Fuck this. All right. So, Core, Modern Warfare 3 campaign. What do you think about it?
No. Nick,
Well, for one, the overworld music is an exact rip from... Well, no, it's a little remix from Link's Awakening. That was kind of annoying. I was like, oh, that's lazy. And then the dungeon music's boring. Music kind of sucked in this game, to be honest.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
like
really...
music.
Even when I had a Game Boy, like a Game Boy Color or Advance, I did not like music on those systems. I just found the sound so annoying, so I always turned it off usually. And in this one, I played dubstep the entire way I was playing. So yeah, when I did hear it, I'm like, oh, this is Zelda music. I've heard this before. Okay.
Yeah,
And I
pretty
turned it
much.
off.
I personally don't have a problem with the music. I think a few of the tracks get repetitive. Dungeon 7, you son of a bitch. But other than that, I found that a lot of the music was just fine. Dungeon 7 and 8 have really repetitive tracks. I think it's a 10-second loop, and it gets on your nerves really quickly. But the Hyrule remix, the Link's Awakening remix, I liked all the remixes that they got here, and the few original sound pieces are decent. They're not necessarily anything memorable.
You spit
They're
really
clear, and
fucking hard.
and they're not annoying. I don't know where you picked that up. That's not how it sounds, Burke.
It's just like it's the same music all over again. I hate hearing.
It's very similar. I'll grant you that, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It's
not bad.
Annoying. I hate.
Well, the music is amazing. I mean, I love Zelda music, but
I just got done playing Link's Awakening, and then I played this game, and I'm like, oh, I already know this song. I heard it the last game.
Yes, like the Route 2.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. No.
What? Wait,
Call
what?
of Duty doesn't have similar music.
This is because they can't afford to, and because no one gives a
They
damn
can't
about
afford
music.
to? Do you know
they
who
can't.
owns Call of
What are you
Duty?
talking about? Wait, what? Wait. I said something.
Gurnett believes that Activision can't afford to get good music.
No, I'm saying they can't afford to have the same music.
Okay, so what's the point here?
The richest video game company.
So what point is
It's not
being
a
made
matter
here?
of finances, Corb.
What?
It's not a matter of finances there.
What's the matter of then?
Simple. If people found out that they were simply using the same music over and over and over, it would drastically decrease players.
No, wouldn't. People don't
Yes,
care
it
about the
would.
music.
And if they don't care about the music, then it shouldn't really be an issue.
Yeah, but oh no.
Ta-da!
Yeah, there's always iconic Zelda tracks, and they change a little bit after each title. The whole point is that Zelda has always had great music. That's not really, I don't really think that's the argument Miracle we're making. I think the argument is we're saying that we just hate the way the GB does sound. It's annoying. Like I can listen to the 3D Zelda soundtracks all day.
Well,
because
yeah,
they're
the soundtracks
orchestral.
are far more grand in scale, and they sound.
Yeah, because they're orchestral, and I love that.
That doesn't mean that these are bad.
I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't like the beep boop beep boop beep 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 GB sound.
After growing up on 8-bit music, I like it.
After growing up on 8-bit music and then listening to like 64-bit and then whatever consoles play it today, I'm like, oh, okay.
64-bit.
They're what?
64-bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds great.
It doesn't sound like synthesizers.
Yeah.
And keyboard.
I wonder how big those files are.
I wonder how big a keyboard cat is.
Keyboard cat's pretty big. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure they compress a lot of it, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. It wouldn't be that low quality.
Right.
Just because a lot of it now is also in like surround sound, and you definitely don't want to compress that shit. Because then it sounds like ass.
Mm.
It's not bad at all. It's amazing. It's one of the Zelda soundtrack is one of those things, like you could literally walk on the street, play the Zelda theme, and there's a pretty decent chance that the person, even though he might not be a gamer, he'll hear this, oh, this is the Legend of Zelda theme. I know this. And a lot of video games can say that they have that kind of iconic soundtrack or iconic music that people just know automatically that this is a Zelda. This is the music from Zelda.
True.
So I'm really not sure what is being argued here. Because I'm pretty sure everybody here agrees that that Zelda has fantastic music.
Yes.
But I just don't have the same kind of I'm not as close to, even though I grew up with the 8-bit music, after we got the orchestral music, especially the soundtracks, they've just gotten so good in video games now. That's like really the big change, was that publishers and game developers are just paying more attention to the music, and it's improving a lot.
Which is a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Kind of bad.
I gotta say, the graphics on
What? What?
I know that I'm harping on the GB's limitations here, but the graphics, the graphics here are not nearly as good as what they should be.
Or when you say should be, are you comparing it to other GB games?
I'm not entirely sure if I'm comparing it to other GB games, actually.
'Cause I gotta agree. After playing Link to the Past, and then the first thing I noticed when I saw this game, like this is kind of a step. This is kind of step down.
Which makes sense for it to be a step down. We're cutting out half the data.
Yeah.
Still, it's definitely noticeable, and it's kind of distracting. But I got over it quickly.
I mean, probably could have. I mean, a part of it is the limitations of the hardware. I really wonder how much of it is
I
just
wanted
that.
different colors of enemies. That's what I really wanted.
Oh, yeah. I gotta say, it's not. It's colorful, but it's not as colorful as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah, there's usually only 2 different palettes for enemies, and they're literally a primary color swap.
I think a big thing that we're forgetting is that Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, how they go together,
Yeah, they go
how they
together.
interact.
But again, we only played Ages because playing them both in a span of a week, none of us would have been willing to do.
Yeah. Also, it would be kind of hard.
It is most certainly possible, and if you want
But
a
we all have
good
lives.
demonstration of it, go watch H.C. Bailey.
What the interaction?
Yeah.
He
H.C.
show.
Bailey
I think he
did,
shows all the interactions,
Yeah, he does.
like all the side quests and what the main quest actually folds out to be, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And that code will drastically change the way the game would have actually ended.
Right.
Oh, so it's almost like a pseudo multiple endings.
Kind of.
Yes,
Boy.
actually. There are
Boy,
multiple
Zelda game.
endings, depending on which way you go.
Is there an ending where Link cannibalizes Zelda?
No. Yeah,
Well,
Zelda
that's the
isn't
thing,
in this
she
one,
is.
but she is in Seasons. Spoilers.
Spoilers, girl. Damn. Our one listeners might have wanted to play that. Now they can't.
Well,
Good
they
job.
can still play it.
He. Wait, is our one listener a he?
Southpaw?
Yeah.
Speaking of, hi, Southpaw.
Thank you. I don't know.
You.
Thank you.
Terrible.
Terrible. This is the most fantastic episode we've ever done.
I think me and Burke are just bashing too hard.
Probably.
I'm just kind of butthurt. I didn't want to play another Zelda game, but we did make us swear that we're not playing any more Zelda for like 4 more years. So reviewing
This is the 3D
any more
one.
Zelda, unless it's
If it's a 3D one, I'm okay with it.
yeah, perhaps. I don't think it's
Okay, time. Oh God, yes.
well. No. We should do. We should do like a monthly episode where we go through like we have our like weekly one, but then during the end of the month we do like a bigger game like Ocarina of Time, so we actually have time to play it.
Honestly, though, I love Ocarina of Time. It's my favorite game of all time. But I think Majora's Mask is much better for like the podcast format, just because Majora's Mask there's a lot more to do. Just collecting a mask, and it feels like a much bigger game than Ocarina of Time. Even though I think the Ocarina of Time has better dungeons.
Matt's trolling so hard.
I mean, obviously Ocarina of Time has superior dungeons.
And we keep on getting off topic. It's because you guys...
It's because I like Ocarina of Time. I love Ocarina of Time, and yeah. And this
and I did want to mention, Cloud's not here today because he's not feeling that well, but he did want us to say that he...
put a Rufina string.
he said it's one of his favorite games of all time.
Yes. Alright, going on from graphics, how do you guys feel about the evolution of the story?
Evolution of story.
The story, I do have to admit, okay, I'm going to stop trolling and bashing. The story itself is good. It's not really deep, I would say, but it keeps you interested in what's actually going to happen. Like, it's not, like, shallow enough that it's like you're just going through dungeons for whatever reason. You actually know why you're doing stuff. But
Right. and I like a lot of the side missions that you have to do,
Yeah.
like
Like
after
the trade quests.
because even though, like Corp said, there's a few of them that are absolutely grating. Oh, you fucking dance minigame.
Oh,
But yeah, even though there are a few side missions that I absolutely despise. Most of them aren't actually that bad, and a lot of them are entertaining and actually build up the world around you. And they actually do have permanent effects too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about the ring system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Shadow, you're like a robot right now.
a bit, but it's okay.
Shadow's a robot in reality, so that's okay.
Mhm.
The ring system. You get rings of praise, and you have like a little box, and then there's a weird guy in the shop who praises. Well, he becomes your friend. I don't know. He's like, hey, you enter my shop. You're my best friend now. Here, let me appraise the first ring for free. And then he tells you, oh, Link, you want to go to the back room? It's kind of dark. I need you to, can you help me get something? And then you do.
This
and
is
then,
turning into a very dark fanfic, Burke.
And then it becomes a very dark game of shame and filthiness, feeling filthy about yourself, and a lot of showers.
To be honest, I like the ring system because a lot of the rings actually do affect how you play the game. But I find that you can go through the game without the rings really, really easily.
Wait! You're telling me the friendship?
You actually do need the rings.
You beat this game without the friendship ring, Gerdat?
I had the friendship ring until I got the Slayer ring, and then I put the Slayer ring on, and I never took it off.
Well, friendship defeats all.
That's just it. Friendship and Slayer don't do anything.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship does nothing in this game. Nothing. Nothing.
Sure.
Not even a thing. That being said, I do like a lot of the side gimmicks that are in here, like Maple. Maple is a witch in training from Syrup, and everyone knows who Syrup is. But if after defeating a certain amount of enemies, I believe the set number is 20, and you can cut it in half with the Maple ring. But after defeating about 20 enemies and going to certain parts of the map, Maple will appear, and if you run into her, you can play a mini game. Will allow you to get bonus rupees, rings, gacha seeds, bombs, a bunch of collectible items, and sometimes even a ring. And there's also a small chance
Piece of heart.
It's the only piece of heart in the game that I don't fucking have yet, and I love that. I love the ability to actually interact with the character and have it actually do something for your inventory. Well, what does she do when you're not running into her?
Oh.
Yep. Like, you're kind of dazed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely a fun portion of the game. I just wish there wasn't a heart piece involved in it.
Gerdat
It
mad.
dropped and I didn't get it. I feel so ashamed. But but the easiest way to get rings is by the process of gacha nuts. Gacha nuts are throughout the world of Termina. Is it Termina? No, this isn't. This is not.
Labrina, or some shit.
Yeah, we're in Labrina. Okay, throughout the land of Labrina, there are patches of soil, and throughout the game, you'll be rewarded by doing certain tasks or opening certain chests with gacha nuts. You can plant gacha nuts in those soil, and after defeating a set number of enemies, I don't know what it is, there will sprout a gacha nut from there, and if you strike the tree with the sword, you'll get a gacha nut. The first few times you strike strike a gacha tree with your sword, you're all but guaranteed to get a ring. However, if you keep replanting the gacha nut in the same soil, you'll get less and less rewards. I think the maximum reward that you can get after about the third time is 200 rupees. Which is still a lot of money, but then again, we have yet to explain the most broken item in the game.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, very early in the game you get the shovel. And this is why this game is ridiculously easy. The shovel allows you, if you're willing to spend the time, to have infinite cash and infinite fairies. Not that you can hold them, but you can have infinite cash in this game thanks to the shovel. You see, while you're digging up the dirt around Labrina, you'll find, monsters, heart pieces, fairies, but you'll also find rupees in denominations of 1, 5, and 100. Huge blue rupees are hard to come by, admittedly, but after about between 2 and 5 minutes of grinding, you're bound to run into at least one. So, if you keep doing that, you can easily max out your cash, and you kind of should throughout the whole game have at least like 200 rupees on hand, because there are points where you definitely need the cash, but it's not so bad.
Shovel is broken.
Well, the shovel is broken.
Seriously, I don't have the
broken shovel, bro. It's broken shovel.
It is a broken shovel. Yes, that.
I slightly remember a exploit kind of time where you fall in the hole, you kill something, you run out of the hole, and you run back in.
Yeah, actually, it's just like that, except now you have it. Except now you can, get even more rupees, and it's faster.
Except you have a shovel.
Is that a shovel? Nope. Chuck Testa. Sorry.
Nope.
Obligatory Chuck Testa joke. Sorry.
Whoa, you gotta mention something else. You gotta mention that like killing enemies with jars is still viable.
Yeah,
oh yeah, jar is the most broken weapon in the game.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I got a triple. I got a triple with a jar.
Oh yeah, look! Oh look! It's the freaking stupid rabbit things. What are they called? The things that you can't kill with your sword.
Buns, I think they're called.
You having a problem with that? Just throw a jar at it, because the jar freaking explodes into a million shards.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, okay, that's realistic. Realistic is how the game looks.
All right. Returning items from other Zelda games are the Power Wristband, the Cane of Samaria, the Giant's Glove, and bombs.
Bombs are pretty useless in this game.
Oh yeah, also the Zora Flippers.
I hate the Zora Flippers. Why can't Link just swim? Like really? Like, oh, you can't swim, so you need flippers to swim.
To be fair, I didn't learn how to swim until I was 14.
Well, yeah, but you're fat, so.
Well, damn. If that exists.
That it was like every other previous Zelda game?
Right.
Oh yeah.
That is probably the most annoying.
You know what it reminded me of?
Gimmick of it in the game, though.
It reminded me of the water dungeon.
Oh god, go in water menu.
Basically, like
What?
became menus of time. You just constantly open your menu over and over again, switching, putting on your boots and taking them off. And in this case, it was like, oh, my power bracelet, I must put it on. I gotta take it off now and put my shield on to kill these guys. I gotta take this off and put my bombs on.
Hi, person.
Hi. Hey.
Anyway,
as much as you guys
are complaining about the
ask your brother if he wants to take my place. Hey, Shadow's brother, want to take my place?
What?
Yes. What, Gerda? What?
As much as you guys are complaining about the inventory system, I didn't mind it so much. It was annoying for the power bracelet. It was annoying for the power bracelet because I was like, why can't this just be an accessory? But
why you're not complaining, Gerdad?
Yeah.
Slurp.
Slurp.
That's why I play.
Serious.
Yeah, it's an accessory.
Power bracelet.
But
You also don't feel like a badass with the power bracelet on. You just feel like a kid picking shit up.
yes, the switch hook is amazing. It really is. My only real problem with the switch hook is that it's designated to do 1 damage, and unlike the hook shot, it does not have paralysis added onto it.
Who cares? It's a fucking shot. That switches shit.
Yes, there are a lot of enemies that are weak to the hook shot, but seriously, I would much rather have it.
Hook shot. I
paralysis
thought it
than
was
do
the switch
damage.
shot. I thought it was the switch shot, Gerdak.
Switch hook.
Switch
Yeah,
hook.
come on, Gerdak. Get your shit together.
Come on, Gert. I'm disappointed in you.
Meow. Anyway, I like the switch hook, I really do, but I find myself really wishing that I had paralysis as opposed to the raw damage.
Do you now?
Yeah. I mean, there are certain enemies where the switch hook actually disables them permanently, but yeah, those are certain enemies. Helmosaurs have always been weak to the hook shot and switch hook items.
What the hell's that?
That was Cord blowing into his mic.
No.
Oh, wait! You found an audio board. Holy shit! Wait, let's see if I...
Now, the new items in this game are the Mermaid's Tail, which I don't actually like the way it controls, the Switch Hook, as we've already covered, the Seed Shooter, which is an amazing weapon, and, do you guys consider the Noble Sword something new?
The what?
The Noble Sword.
No.
Okay.
See if I can get...
So yeah, we've got the Mermaid's Tail. Again, I really don't like that. The Switch Hook and the Seed Shooter. These items are most certainly, very good items, but I don't like the way that the Mermaid Tail controls. I wish the Switch Hook had paralysis, and the Seed Shooter I have actually no complaints about.
I'm not doing anything anymore. That's Burke.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I like the Seed Shooter. Okay. Yes. Mystical seeds, in fact. You have Ember Seeds, you have Gale Seeds, you have Pegasus Seeds, you have Mystery Seeds, and you have the most powerful seeds, the Scent Seeds. Each of these things do something different depending on how you use them. However, you'll find yourself using them as ricochet bombs almost all the time thanks to the Seed Shooter, but they do have effects if you just use them under your Seed Satchel. For example, the Pegasus Seed takes the place of the Pegasus Boots in the other games by giving you a temporary, incredible boost of speed that allows you to jump over large places. And the Ember Seed, if used as a Seed Shooter or as a Seed Satchel, will allow you to burn down things and burn down enemies and burn down houses and burn down grasses. Lots of fire. The Mystery Seed really only has one purpose, and that's to talk to the owl statues, which will make a return in Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask?
Yes.
That's not Majora's Mask.
And also, instead of having, the bird and flute to warp you around, you now have Gale Seeds, which when used with your Seed Snatch will allow you to warp to any other mystical tree on the map. This is double-edged, however, since the mystical seeds that you want are almost always in the other timeline. Oh, another item that we forgot to mention, which is kind of the main point of the game, the Harp of Ages.
Oh,
Let's go over this. Now, as we discussed in our plot summary, or synopsis rather, you have to chase a Varan who has possessed Nehru through time. And as we all know, Link can't do that naturally. He needs either an ocarina or an instrument or a drum set to do it. So, you have a harp. And this harp is imbued with the magical power of Neru, who is the time-traveling demigod.
And also the demigod of cookies.
Yes, demigod
I have
of
cookies in my
Let's go
microwave.
with that.
I got some in my mouth.
Throughout the game, you'll acquire different tunes. The first of which is the Tune of Echoes, which allows you to use these small time tablets, if you will, that are located throughout Labrina in order to go into either the past or the future. Why these tablets can't be in the same places all the time, I don't know. It's annoying. The next tune that you'll get is actually the Tune of Currents, which allows you to, if you are in the past, go to the future. No, not vice versa. It doesn't work the other way around. It should, but it doesn't. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Or using the Tune of Echoes to get back in time when I just want to use the Tune of Currents.
Right.
But the final tune that you'll get is the Tune of Time, which does allow you to go willingly back and forth through time.
Wait.
Another thing that I have to bring up as a small complaint, why the hell does Link get to mess around with the timeline?
Huh?
No one gives a damn. Link messes around with the timeline. And yes, Matt, I know he's the hero of time, but if anyone else were to mess around with the time stream, everyone would explode.
You mean like Naru?
Yes, when Neru messes
Wait
with the
a
timeline,
minute.
almost everyone explodes.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Damn it, that's what I was thinking. We forgot that this game has romance.
Yes, a small joke romance between Link and the Maku tree.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, actually.
It's kind of creepy, but at the same time,
tree.
it's cute.
That tree.
It's not cute, it's creepy, Gerda.
It's cute.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
ugh.
it is. It is cute.
No, it's not.
Because Link saved her from moblins.
Yes.
Yep, she did. Also, LeBron's timeline is kind of screwy because when Link travels to the past, it's always exactly 400 years in the past. How the hell do you do that?
Huh?
How do you measure where you're going to land?
Because Link obviously knows his shit.
Yeah, I kind of figure it has to do with the song, but... Alright, so, what else?
So we got like a fourth member here. We got like a fourth member here who's not talking.
Yeah, Matt is technically with us, but he's just, texting us, so our viewers can't actually hear him.
Matt would probably be better for this podcast because he's a massive Nintendo and Legend of Zelda fanboy.
Yes, he is.
What?
Jerp. Jerp.
You know what? I didn't catch that. I really didn't catch that.
I didn't either. I must have been masturbating.
That's Joe Guerrero, like, Nintendo, they're so sneaky.
It's not as broken as a joke as It's a Me Mario. That was an
Ew! I just found
It's
a
a
hair
hint,
in my
Luigi.
cookie. There's a long hair in my cookie. That's not good.
Really? You want to talk about this, Corbinik?
Ew.
How does that make you feel?
I just almost swallowed a hair.
Oh, that's
There are a lot of returning NPCs from other Zelda games. For example, the famous toilet paper guy, he's back. I don't know why, but he's certainly back. I mean, seriously, why the hell is he still here, and why does he always need toilet paper?
Oh, wait, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, in this game, if anybody remembers Majora's Mask, there is a hand that comes out that asks you for paper.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, I was just wandering around, enjoying the scenery, and then I walk in this little house. And then I see a hand coming out, and the first thing I'm like, oh my god, so that Majora's Mask part is a tribute to this.
Yes, yes, it is.
Of course. Can you actually give him? I'm guessing you can give him paper.
Yeah, it's part of the trade quest.
Because I remember Majora's Mask, he gives you rubies or something.
He gives you the stink bag.
Oh yeah, in
In
Majora's
this
Mask.
game, he gives you the stink bag.
Mm-hmm.
What does he give you in Majora's Mask?
And in Majora's Mask, I think he gives you a piece of heart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I kind of want to know that guy's backstory. I would love to know that guy's backstory.
And why the fuck does he always need toilet paper? You would think
No,
after
you
the
know-
first time he would remember to have all stocked up on toilet paper.
Actually, if you really think about it, his hands looks really. It looks like he's not getting a lot. He's not getting eating at all. His hand looks very bony.
True.
It's like it's a very. I think the story will be very dark. I think that guy's trapped down there, or he's out of his mind. Either way,
Or both.
yes. You know, that's, you gotta get on the bottom of this.
Also, a very cruel joke that you can play, which doesn't do anything. You can drop the pot on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's horrible. The guy has
Yes.
nothing going on in his life.
But I'm an evil SOB, so I don't care.
Wow, Gerda, that's fucked up.
I certainly want to discuss a few of the bosses.
Many bosses and bosses. Ah, yeah.
Now, do we want to just go through them in order?
Sure, why not?
All right. First boss for the Spirit's Grave.
Some spirit.
He is I believe in Japanese mythology, there's a Digimon modeled after this guy, okay? This guy is actually rather famous in Japanese mythos. I don't remember what he's actually called, though.
What are we talking about?
The boss of Spirit's Grave.
Oh, wait, isn't that a... Oh, are you talking about the where you see the ghost and the ghost asks you if you can move the stone so he can get in or something?
No, the guy with the pumpkin
guy?
head.
Oh, Pumpkinhead guy.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that guy.
Yeah, he's actually pretty famous in Japanese mythos. I don't know his name, though.
Pumpkinhead guy's famous?
Yes, he's famous.
Is he
But,
now?
he is pretty much how most of the bosses end up working in this game. You will fight him, you'll get him down a certain way, but then you have to use the dungeon item in order to continue to damage him. And that is pretty much how this goes, which is actually pretty cool in all seriousness. I like doing that.
Well,
However,
it's nothing
are a
new.
few
It's nothing new,
bosses.
though. That's the whole thing. It's nothing new.
It definitely is nothing new, but there are bosses that don't really take advantage of this. For example, the Wing Dungeon boss, level 2, he's really just weak to the freaking sword, if I recall correctly. Just
Are we talking about the mini boss?
over and over again, and boom, he falls over.
Wait, what? You keep cutting out.
Well, if you use the hero's technique over and over on the Wing Dungeon boss, he just falls over. Let me think. What item did you get in Wing Dungeon? Was it the seed shooter? But you don't have sense seeds yet, so the only seeds that you could shoot would be Ember and Mystery, and you don't have enough to take him down. So at least it makes sense why he's weak to the sword.
Does it now?
Yes. Are we sure about that though, Shadow? Because I think you get the Seed Shooter and Moonlit Grotto, which is the third one. So then what's the dungeon item for the second one? No, I think you actually already had bombs by that point.
Yeah, you have bombs. You remember, you get the bombs from Queen Ambi for finding seeds for her.
Finding mystery seeds.
I gotta tell you guys everything. Jesus, you guys should play the game.
Well, we did, and I beat it, but I don't remember what the
That is such a memorable scene, though, Gerdan. I mean, you go inside the castle and you see Akuyami, and you know that you find out that she's being controlled by Naryu.
We already knew that, though.
It was implied, though. It was implied. You didn't actually see it, though.
Okay, all right. And the Moonlit Grotto, you get the Seed Shooter, and all you really need to do for him is use your Ascent Seeds, which you get through the Tokay trade quest. Hey. Yes, the Tokay trade quest can suck Corb's left testicle.
What Corb's testicle? What about mine's? Mine's will work.
You didn't get to the Tokay trade quest.
But my testicle still work.
Fine.
Thank you.
But the seed shooter, is really powerful, and I love the seed shooter. I really do. It's awesome. So good.
Is it awesome? Okay.
But I don't really remember the boss for it all that well. I just remember that you're supposed to use sense seeds on him, and he falls down ridiculously quick once you know that. Wait, I remember. Yeah, Moonlit Grotto's boss is the Calamari King, isn't it? Yeah, and the reason why you have to use sense seeds on him is because you can't actually hit him with your sword, because you're always either underwater or on the platform. Yes, I remember it now.
Good.
Alright, continuing on, Dungeon 4 is the Lava Dungeon, Skull Dungeon. This is where you get the switch hook, and you need to use the switch hook a lot in this dungeon, and it gets you familiar with what the switch hook does. And if I recall, this is the boss that you have to actually bait its shadows, then use the switch hook on the shadows in order to and then start attacking it from there, right? Yeah. Shadow manipulation. Right. So, yeah, seed shooter and switch hook battle. Awesome. Next is Dungeon 5, which is Crown. Is it Crown? Yeah, it's gotta be Crown. Cause Dungeon 6 is and Crown Dungeon. Holy shit, I finished this game Thursday and I can't for the life of me remember what the bosses for most of these dungeons were. God. I apologize, viewers. Ooh.
That's why you have your browser open, Gerdat.
I don't, though.
Well, maybe you should.
All in all, I found that the dungeon design was the dungeon design in this game was actually really good, and I found myself enjoying most of it, except Dungeon 7. I could make a whole video how much I fucking hate Dungeon 7. Now, here's the problem with Dungeon 7, okay? Dungeon 7 is a revamp for the Ocarina of Time's Water Temple. You guys remember?
Oh no.
Yeah, you guys remember when you were supposed to use the iron boots and adjust the water levels? Well, the thing about this is that you don't use the iron boots, but you adjust the water levels in one particular room and getting back to that room and pushing the button and then not having it. Fucking hate this.
So basically, you have to control the water level.
Yes.
From one room, you and
to control the water level.
And I'm guessing it's very trial and error that you hit move the water level. You go to do whatever you have to do. You find out that you didn't do it right, then you have to go all the way back and do it again.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought was going on. But then I realized it wasn't really so much trial and error. It was getting my freaking mermaid suit to work right. Because you finish the mermaid cave, and during that you get the mermaid suit, which allows you to, swim underwater without the use of the Zora flippers. The problem is, controlling the mermaid suit is a lot harder than the Zora flippers because you have to tap the keys repeatedly, or the control pad, rather. I support emulation.
No, you don't.
But yeah, the whole thing about switching into the mermaid suit, I do not like this thing. Sure, it allows me to use the A button. It allows me to use my A button for, my items again. But I didn't have a problem with using the B button for my items with the Zora flippers. And the A button allowed me to swim in faster. Now I have to rapidly tap on the directional pad in order to swim faster. And it gets annoying, especially in like the last dungeon, one of the last dungeon puzzles, to actually navigate through that and not fall into the bottomless, fathomless waterfall. Yeah, bleh.
Yeah, but
I really do not like the mermaid suit's control. Meh. But
all
use
agree
the
on that.
mermaids all throughout Jabu Jabu, which is Dungeon 7, and opening Jabu Jabu was actually pretty cool. Still,
Oh, there's a motherfucking mosquito in my room.
well then slap it.
Oh yeah, it's a big motherfucker. You're dying.
I hate this fucking dungeon. This is the main reason why you need a walkthrough to beat this game. You can probably get through Dungeon 8 and the final dungeon without a walkthrough because they're not necessarily that difficult. But Dungeon 7... Yes, this is the one dungeon that makes it so... This is a god dang it dungeon.
Or what?
A god dang it.
Okay.
You know, like god damn it, except god dang it.
I usually don't describe dungeons I hate like that. What?
Alright. Now, the boss for Jabu Jabu is either the hardest boss in the game or the easiest boss in the game, depending on which way you choose to fight him. If you choose to fight him by just, you know... the gimmick for this boss is that he can only actually damage himself. You have no items that will actually damage him. But the thing, you're told from the owl stats that color indicates weakness. This means that the jellyfish will attack you with one color and needs to be the other color in order to damage itself by it. So if you use your sword for this, you can't win. You can't win this fight with your sword. I refuse to believe you can win this fight with your sword. You can land the first several hits on him just fine, you know, like the first 6 hits, or rather the first 5, but hit 6, 7, and maybe 8 if it takes that many. I really don't know. You have to change tactics. The jellyfish boss is a pain in the ass if you choose to fight him sword only. I swear you can't win this fight if you do that. What you're supposed to do, however, is let him attack you, then switch hook at him, and because you have the long hook now, it does damage, and it switches places with him, and then he'll land on his projectile, and you can juggle him like this. This boss becomes the easiest boss once you figure out that he's weak to the switch hook, which you were supposed to figure out because this is the dungeon where you get the long switch anyway. But, it took me a few times to figure it out, but once I actually did, I was face-palming, because I went through the first 3 fights struggling to keep up with him, and then on the last fight, I barely took 1.5 hearts of damage. I was pissed at myself. There's only one other really difficult boss in the game, and it's the boss of Ancient Tomb. And the only reason Ancient Tomb's boss is difficult is because it's brilliant. It really is. Ancient Tomb's boss requires you to use most of your items in order to beat him. What is this guy's name? I want to actually know his name. You know what? We're going to say he's from Mario 64. I'm calling Machu Picchu. Alright. Machu Picchu, you can't actually damage him directly. In order to actually damage Machu Picchu, you have to figure out what weakness he actually has in this particular form. In his first form, in order to do damage to him, you have to hit his arms that he throws at you back at him. Now, this is actually a little bit more difficult than it sounds, but it's not so bad. Once you've actually got the timing and, you know, the pacing right, it's definitely doable. His second one is probably what most people find the most annoying, because it's the most tedious out of all the parts, as far as I know. His second part, he gets spikes on his arms now. And in order to actually damage him now, you have to use bombs. And what you got to do is throw the bombs into the center where he's about to close. And when he does close, he'll do damage to himself. Why the bomb explosion won't do damage to him any other way, I don't know. God damn. You can seriously hit him with bombs all day, but if you don't hit him in that specific fashion, he doesn't take damage. But again, that's not so bad. Because, in all seriousness, he doesn't really attack you in this form. He kind of just goes in a set pattern, really. Or at least it looks like a set pattern. Third form is a form that a lot of people dislike because, you know, he officially can defend himself adequately with his shield. The problem is his shield doesn't cover all around him, so what you got to do is you got to use your seed shooter with any of the seeds, except I think Gale? Is it Gale? Yeah. except Gale, because those don't actually ricochet. But you have to ricochet the seeds off the back wall and into the back of his head, which isn't protected by the shield. And that only takes like 3 or 4 shots. It's not that hard. The only like somewhat difficult part of that would be the large energy ball, but even that's easy to avoid. And the last part is probably the most difficult part, mainly because it took me forever to freaking figure out. His arms turn into giant wrecking balls. Would you say that's accurate, Mr. Shadow? But these wrecking balls are actually attached to chains on the inside. And what you have to do is you have to wait for him to throw 1 wrecking ball at you, because he'll sometimes throw 2, and then you have to pull on the one that he didn't throw. He's totally immobile while you do this, which is a good thing, with the exception that he can still attack you, so you got to be somewhat quick about it. But using the Giant's Gauntlet, you can grab it, pull it back, and then send it back at him. This is another fight that it took me a while to beat, simply because I couldn't figure out the gimmicks for parts 2 and 4. If you know what you're doing, he's not actually that bad, but he's definitely one of the longer fights. Do we want to cover the final boss?
Kind of
Yeah, we'll leave the final boss up to you guys who actually want to play the game. But I will tell you this, it is a pretty cool final boss, turtle form. Yes, we are. Do you guys want to give your final reviews?
Sure. I think Burke disappeared.
Probably.
What?
There he is.
You did.
Final verdict.
Okay.
How about you go next, Burke?
I'll give it a meh out of 10.
Oh, come on. Can you please get an actual number value?
Number value. 7 3/4.
That'll work, but why?
Why? What do you mean why? I don't have to give my reason.
Alright, fine then. How about you, Corb?
1 out of 10.
Really? Why?
No, not really. 7 out of 10, I just don't feel like playing Zelda again.
Alright. And you, Shadow?
Also, and Cloud wanted us to say that he'd give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I already covered that.
Oh. Wasn't paying attention.
Fucking dancing game. I really enjoyed playing this game, with the exception of the few parts that I absolutely loathed. These include Dungeon 7 and the dancing minigame, as I've mentioned many times. Seriously, this game is... I seriously find this game to be a lot different experience than the other Zelda titles that I've played. I want to give this an 8.5 out of 10 because I really enjoyed this, except for those parts that really irk me. I hate the dancing minigame. I hate the mermaid suit.
You don't have to explain
I hate Dungeon
yourself.
7.
We know you don't have to explain yourself.
Yes, I do. But yeah, it's definitely a good game. Just make sure you get a guide.
Thank God.
Yes, be safe,
Maybe.
y'all.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We might. Depends.
I don't know.
Depends on...
Depends. It depends on what everybody.
We might do a Thanksgiving special.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think Gerda gets to pick the game this week,
Yeah,
so
I can pick.
this should be
If he picks Legend
interesting.
of Zelda, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Legend of Zelda.
If we pick Zelda, I'm not going to be showing up for the next podcast.
I'm gonna go masturbate.
No,
Fuck.
we are not. We
No,
might
we're
come
not.
I'm
back
gonna
and
be
revisit our
in that case. I will be on Pornhub during the whole podcast and masturbating. We might- I could-
E.g.
Says who? I've swore.
I've sworn a lot. I swore all the time.
Oh, okay, that works. Be safe, y'all.
Apologies.
Whoosh.
Apologies.